What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC. Now, before I get to the video, real quick, I want to personally give a shout out to two people, two of my subscribers that made huge, significant contributions to the channel yesterday. I want to give a shout out to the African Sci-Fi Scholar for his $25 donation to the Cash App, um, and also I want to give my thank you to Jay Good for his $10 contribution to the channel, man. I really do greatly appreciate those donations, man. I really do. If you ask how can I donate to the channel, I'm gonna put in the Cash App link in the description box if you want to donate any money to the value of this channel. I mean, doesn't matter how much it is. It could be $1, $100, doesn't matter. Um, any kind of contribution to the channel would be greatly appreciated. It's basically free of choice. If you don't have to do it, but the option's there for you. Okay. I want to personally thank a lot of people that came into my live stream yesterday. That basically chopped it up with me. It was my first live stream in about a month and a half, and we had a good time. We discussed a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean, and it was really successful, man. And I'll look forward to try to do more live streams in the future. Trying to make sure to keep up with the engagement of a lot of you guys, but I'll also continue to create videos, as my work schedule tries to, reduce a little bit. So, but with that being said, let's get down to the business at hand here. So, there's been a lot more news, in the last few days over the whole Deshaun Watson situation. All right, I'm sure you guys have been, up to speed about it, but as of Friday, okay, two judges ruled out that most of the plaintiffs that are suing Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans, must identify themselves. The rulings must from two hearings cover 13 of the 22 lawsuits filed against Watson, while the attorneys have agreed to reach a 14th date later in the day. Now, according to ESPN, Rusty Harden, who is the lawyer and the legal representative of Deshaun Watson, the court registers show that Harden has filed a motion asking that the remaining women who have not revealed their names also make their identities public. Now, prior to Friday, only two women have publicly been identified. During Friday's first hearing in the 270th District Court, Harden had accused the plaintiff's lawyer, Tom Buzzy, of using the women's anatomy to kill the reputation of our client, end quote. Busney argued that allowing the anonymity is a common case of dealing with allegations of sexual assault. Busney said that Ashley Souls, who publicly identified herself earlier this week, had received death threats. During the second hearing, he shared an example of a threatening message sent to Solis. All right. After the hearings, Busby released a statement saying the other women suing Watson have been emboldened by Solis to going public with her experience. This is what the lawyer that is representing the women had to say. They are ready to be identified. In lawsuits, sometimes we push for something that may turn out to be not helpful. As I say in court, be careful what you ask for. Identifying these women at this point adds even more credibility to the allegations being made, and I'm proud to stand with these brave and courageous women. End quote. Busby and Harden also agreed that the 22 lawsuits could be consolidated in the 113th District Court for any pretrial matters. In a statement Tuesday, the NFL spokesperson called the allegations against Watson deeply disturbing, noting that we take these issues very seriously. Also, the representative also said that the league launched an investigation under its personal conduct policy last month after the first allegations, and that the NFL is continuing to closely monitor all developments in the matter. Now, here's my 2 cents about the whole situation. All right. Something is really fishy about this whole situation. Okay. I have this suspicion, okay, that this lawsuit is basically nothing more, in my personal view, than more than a financial gain for a lot of these women. Now, I'm not trying to dispute, I'm not trying to, disrespect them or anything like that, because, sexual, assault or harassment is a very, very sensitive matter. Okay. And I know that I've seen women, been victims of that, of worse situations than this one. Okay. But there's something fishy about this whole situation, because remember, the lawyer that is representing, the women in this case, his neighbor is actually the owner of the Houston Texans. Okay. So to me, it sounds a little bit too obvious. Okay. it sounds a little bit too obvious that McNair may have set this whole thing up in my view, and I could be wrong about this. Okay, now the thing that I'm going to be most be careful of is saying that a lot of these allegations are fake or anything like that, because I don't want to throw any kind of incriminating type of stuff that could probably get myself into trouble here. Okay, but something like this, you have to be very, very careful about throwing these kind of allegations without actually showing the actual evidence or the proof or the testimony that basically can comply with your story. All right, and so that's where my stance is at this whole thing right now. Okay. Now, obviously, Watson has pretty much denied any wrongdoing, and basically his legal team has been pretty much said that that they believe that any false allegation against Deshaun forced a woman to commit sexual act is completely false. Now, I would expect that from anyone that's being accused of that. Okay. But we have to be very, very careful, and we have to basically process through all the information because listen, there could be some of these women that could probably have those kind of experiences, and some of them may not, and some of their stories may not add up with their with their accounts to what they're suing about. All right, so we have to be very, very careful about what we're trying to accuse the people on both sides of the fence here. But it just to me, it just seems too fishy to me. So there's just something about this does not smell right to me. All right, and I just listen. I remember listening to this whole case when I heard about it with Quest X's videos. Salute to him too. And to me, this is nothing more than just once again, in my personal view, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way, that this is another attack against another black athlete and trying to diminish his reputation. All right. And let me tell you something. America has been famous at that for centuries. And don't forget, the NFL has tried their best to try to distance themselves or try to eliminate the records of Ben Roethlisberger's wrongdoing, and he actually did commit those acts. We cannot forget about this. Don't forget, Robert Kraft was soliciting prostitutes, and he was under an FBI investigation. All right, so don't sit here and try to pretend like and try to smash on another athlete. I should say black athlete in this case, when there's always other sides of the fence that have done way worse of crimes, but they have not gotten any limelight. All of this, I'm still waiting for ESPN to start making documentaries about Chad Wheeler and what he did to his African American girlfriend. Y'all saw the pictures. Y'all saw how that poor woman got basically nearly beaten to death. All right. You know what I mean? I'm just calling out about the double standards, all right? But the whole situation to me is just, a bit fishy. And I'm going to be very, very, picky, and I'm going to listen to things very, very carefully, as more of this news, starts to come out. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be probably going to end more than just nothing more than probably a possible settlement, in my view. Could there be more stuff that could come out of line? I could probably see it to be the case, but I'm not going to rush to judgment until all the facts come out into place. All right, and I'm not going to jump the gun on anything, because the last thing I want to do is jump the gun at anything and then obviously be proven wrong. All right, so we're going to see what happens. But I tend to think that this is nothing more than just another sabotage campaign by the Texas organization to try to diminish the reputation of Deshaun Watson. That's what I tend to believe. And if you look at all the other players that have left, the Houston Texas organization, all right, they can pretty much tell you that the organization being ran as a whole is very, very shady. All right. And the fact that the Deshaun Watson and his character pretty much tells you how he tried to stick this out until he recognizes that it wasn't going to work anymore, speaks volumes to where this organization lies in at this point. So that's just pretty much my 2 cents. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.